Two. Hello. Today I am with my best friend, my first tantra teacher. So I'm really happy to present you, to introduce you to Carrie. Hello, Carrie.
Hello, Julie. Thanks for
How?
having me today.
Yes, I really want to tell our story and to tell who we are and why we are in this path of tantra.
Well, I'm thrilled that we finally get to do this, that you were brave enough to finally begin our talks. We've been
Mhm.
wanting to do this for a long time now.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me a little bit how you start to this path or how you discover you were a dakini.
I love that word. Does your audience know what a dakini is?
I'm not sure. So tell us.
Well, I found this one definition and I can't go back and find it on Google again when I try, but it basically said that the dakini is the most um, spiritually oriented, spiritually advanced, and wise woman in the world. And
Mm.
there's stories that these women used to rule the world with their sacred sex knowledge, their understanding, their wisdom and ability to connect men into the divine. So back when that was popular, they ruled the world, I guess. Who knows? I wasn't there, but that's how the story goes, and says that women are better equipped to connect with the spirit and the divine. So they were running the churches and temples, and they taught sacred sexuality to the entire community, and this was common all over, from what I hear.
Ah, okay. So do you feel you are a dakini when you discover this?
From a friend of mine here, that when a male spiritual aspirant was had reached the top of his game spiritually, um, he would go off into the woods and find one of these wild, uncontrollable, untamable dakinis who like to live out in the woods by themselves, close to nature with other women like her. And he would hope that he would be seen and taken in by one of these dakinis and taught the ways of making love with the universe and merging into the divine through her. He would just have to hope. And then I've also heard stories down in South America that the shamans down there, especially the ayahuasquero shamans, that their highest aspiration was to merge into the oneness of all that is the feminine goddess.
Mhm.
That was their highest aspiration. So the Dakini was a woman that naturally, took on that mantle and helped the men to achieve those high heights.
Mm. And when did you start your dakini path, or where you discover when you discovered that you were a dakini?
Well, I started when I was 17, and I just had the simple thought that if our body is running at such a high level of intelligence, perhaps if my ego self, the part that learned in school, got out of the way and asked the divine spirit to run through my body, that it could teach me and show me the highest level of what sex was supposed to be. And
Mhm.
so, my first experience was miraculous. I felt this, I just opened up and stepped aside while I was making love. And I asked the spirit to run through me and show me. And what happened was I had this tantric wave come through me. I didn't have a name for it, but it was so grand and so glorious. It was just jaw-droppingly magnificent.
Mm.
And I said, wow, that was amazing. And my partner said, what was that? I said, I don't know. But it was a mystery. And I began to pursue that mystery. And the next thing I said to the spirit, I said, that was amazing. But I didn't feel like I had merged into oneness with my partner. So I said, Spirit, please show me how to do that. And when I got the right opportunity, after making love, I was laying in my partner's arms, laying down with him, and I began merging my hearts. What does that mean? I felt the heartbeat, and I felt my heart beating with his and merging into one, beating at the same time. And I breathed with him. And then I thought, what if I breathed his breath? So I got my lips this close to his. And when he exhaled, I inhaled. And when I exhaled, I breathed right into his nose or his mouth. So he'd be inhaling my breath. And what happened was I entered this space that I saw a threshold, like a line in my mind. And I thought, oh, I'm supposed to step over this. So I stepped over it into this vast open space. And it was phenomenal and beautiful. And he was there with me, but we were in another dimension of spirit. And if we, went like this on our skin, we might come back to our bodies, and we didn't want to move. So we held very, very still. And we laid like that for an hour without moving. And when we came back to our waking, back to our bodies after an hour, he said to me, what was that? I said, I don't know. But when I got home, I asked the spirit what it was. And the response was, you just became the original God and goddess that created the entire world. And at 17 years old, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I've never seen anything like that out there in the world. How come I'm getting this knowledge? So to me, it was a very simple inquiry. Why wasn't everyone inquiring about this? And I told the spirit, I said, what am I supposed to do with this? Should I write a book? I didn't even know what was going on in this world. Why the disparity between this amazing sacred experience and what society had shown me was sex, And so the spirit realm told me, just go do anything you want for the first half of your life, and we'll wake you up in the second half. And so I was awoken at age 46. And I fell into my mission. I said, what do you want me to do? It took a while, but I finally discovered it. And I said, oh, I was elated, just elated.
So you think by sex or by tantra, we can open multidimensional trips, or we can open and see other realities through sex, through magic sex?
Through asking like I did while you're making love, or while you're self-pleasuring, and then relaxing your mind and your ego mind that thinks it knows everything, let go. And then our right brain is receiving the totality of all that is, and our left brain is filtering it and defining it into this world. I'm gonna have to cut my coughs out. I better take a break and get some water. Just a sec. This tea is drying my throat out.
Wait.
Sorry.
So let's.
Okay, so the left part of the brain then, the right part receives the fullness of the divine. It's enormous. And we pull apart little pieces of it into the left brain. And that's where we learn about our reality, and we have sciences and math and studies and learning over here, how to interpret what comes through here and what we're going to let in. Okay, so what we want to do is drop our learning and be open, relax, and let your imagination, that's the key. The imagination is the key. Let that show you things and keep asking the question, divine presence of spirit, come through my body, show me the next thing I'm ready to see. Show me divinity. It's my understanding after all this time that the women being centered in their hearts more are the ones to connect to the divine and bring the men into that. And so the men are waiting for us to remember as women that we can do this, but the religions have been very powerful and society has been very powerful at stopping women from connecting to the divine by saying, like with the story of Mary Magdalene, you know, that she will get, a sexual woman will get stoned to death, right? He is not respected and is not honored in this world. And so women cut that off. They don't talk to God during sex. Some of them may, and those that do know the result, that it's beautiful and it's open and freeing, and everything that has to do with the heart is about sacredness, purity, innocence, divinity starts with the heart, and that's the woman's power. And the cycle that we've been living through has cut us off from that. So ladies, especially, men too,